Welcome to Smart Study. There is one question on CVP analysis in F5 performance management. So one of my students found it difficult, so I thought I'm going to record it for everyone. So first of all, the requirement is the lowest break-even sales, which means that what is the minimum sale to achieve the break-even point? Okay, so minimum sales to get break-even point, or in other words, we are talking about the break-even point in terms of revenue, the minimum revenue, okay, to get to the break-even point. Okay, now we are given four products, M, A, R, and P. MARP, the CS ratio is given to us 5%, 10%, 15%, and 20%. Then we are given the maximum sales revenue and the minimum sales values, that both of them are given to us. And then we are given the fixed cost, which is 60,000. Okay. So as we have to find the minimum sales to get to the break-even point, so the first step will be that we have to find the contribution at the minimum sales. Basically, you see the contribution will be the minimum sales multiplied by CS ratio, the minimum sales multiplied by CS ratio, and the minimum sales multiplied by CS ratio for all the four products. So let me do it here. Contribution at minimum sales. So we have four products, M, A, R, and P. So the contribution will be the minimum sales of 50,000 multiplied by CS ratio of 5%. You know that sales multiplied by CS ratio is going to give you contribution, isn't it? Plus 50,000 multiplied by 10% plus 20,000 multiplied by 15% plus 10,000 multiplied by 20%. So it will be 50,000 multiplied by 5% plus 50,000 multiplied by 10% plus 20,000 multiplied by 15% plus 10,000 multiplied by 20%, which will give you 12,500. So the contribution to get to the minimum sales will be 12,500. That's the contribution. Okay. Now the second step will be, we know that the fixed cost that is given to us is 60,000, and contribution minus the fixed cost will be your profit. So how much is the contribution at minimum sales? 12,500. How much is the fixed cost? Is 60,000. So how much will be a profit? In fact, is going to be a loss. The loss is 47,500. So it's not a profit, it's actually a loss, right? Now, this loss need to be covered to get to the break-even point. So I'll say to achieve break-even point, we need a contribution of 47,500 to cover this loss. It's just for your understanding. Of course, you don't have to write it down, right, in your exam. You just have to calculate it. Okay. So we will need a contribution of this much to cover this loss. And once we have that contribution and the loss is covered, so no profit, no loss, isn't it? So zero profit, that is the break-even point. Okay. Now, what is our priority? First of all, if you see, if you have to cover the loss, which product will be your priority? Which product are you going to sell? Of course, you can see that product P is giving you the highest contribution. After that, it's product R. After that is product A, and then it's product M. So the first product that we want to sell is product P. Now you can see that we have already 10,000 units sold. In minimum sales, if that is already sold, it means that we can maximum sell 170,000 more, right? 10,000 are already sold. So what will be the next step? Product P has the highest CS ratio. So we should sell this first, right? That should be our priority, right? And as we said that, well, 10,000 are already sold, so we are left with 70,000. So again, a sale of 70,000, 170,000, sorry, a sale of 170,000, if you multiply it with a CS ratio of 20%, you'll get the contribution of 34,000. Okay, so here is the sale, here is the CS ratio, and here is the contribution, right? How much contribution needed to be covered? It was 47,500. So out of 47,500, we have already covered 34,000. Okay. So what is our next priority? It's product R. How much contribution more is needed, right? So if 47,500, if we have already covered 34,000, the remaining contribution to cover the loss is 47,500 minus 34,000. So how much is the remaining contribution? That will be 13,500, right? We need that much more contribution. And now the second one in priority, product P is sold. And now the second in the priority, we said it's product R, right? The second in the priority is product R. And we need this much contribution more from product R. So we have to see that how much sale is required to get this much contribution. Okay. So next priority will be product R, right, with CS ratio of what? 15%. Okay, so the CS ratio is 15%. Okay. Sales into contribution to sales ratio, we know that this will give us the contribution. But now we want to find the sales value, right? The sales value, right? The contribution is this time given to us. The target contribution is there. We know the CS ratio also. So what will be the sales? Sales multiplied by 15% will be equal to 13,500. So sales will be 13,500 divided by 15%. So the extra sale required is 90,000. Okay. Now guys, if you watch it carefully, this sale is required to get the contribution. Of course, this sale is required to get the contribution. This sale is from product R. This sale is from product P. And then there is minimum sale. If you add all of them together, which is already there, so 50,000 plus 50,000 plus 20,000 plus 10,000, which will be 130,000. So we have to add that as well. So let's add that. So the minimum sales to get break even point will be, first of all, the minimum sale 130,000, the revenue from product P, which is 170,000, and the revenue from product R, which is 90,000. That's the minimum sale that we already have. And on top of that, we need to have a revenue of 170,000 from P and 90,000 from R. So how much is the overall sale required? That's 390,000, right? So 390,000 sale overall is required to get to the break-even point. The minimum sale required to get to break-even point is 390,000, right? I hope it was helpful. Thank you very much.